how do you deliver personalization at scale? Because when you're a small little business and you've got 10 customers, it's fairly easy to personalize your communication. You know exactly who those customers are. But
Yeah,
when you've got 10,000, what do you do?
totally. And small business used to win on personalization. So you would go to your local butcher, baker, candlestick maker because they knew your name and that they said, "Oh, how's your dog? Has it, recovered from that bite that it got?" And, whatever they said back in the day. But they knew stuff about you and they could personalize based on that. And then big companies came along and big companies were like depersonalized. They're like, "Oh no, one size fits all, one message fits all. Enjoy Coca-Cola. That's our message. Everyone can have that same message." So small companies were winning because they say, well, we're personalized and big companies are depersonalized. What's flipping at the moment is big companies have figured out how to automate personalization. So they're actually beating small businesses with a personalized feel. So Amazon is creating a personalized shopping experience based on your past shopping habits. Sometimes they get it wrong, but a lot of the time they get it right. Shopify has personalization built into it. Facebook, your newsfeed is obviously based on a personalization algorithm. So these big businesses more and more are discovering ways to deliver a personalized interactive experience that feels very much like, oh, look at Spotify. Those are the songs that I like. How did they know? Look at YouTube. That's the videos that I'm interested in. How did they know? And small businesses are seeming less and less personalized. So the first step to personalization is collecting data about people. You need to know stuff about them. In the same way, if you went to a brand new small business and they said, "Oh, I've seen you come in a few times. What's your name? Where do you live?" Right? So you just find stuff out about people. Tell me a bit about yourself. Now you're talking. That's actually a data collection process that the human brain does. So it starts filling up its little cup of data and remembering that in its little mental database. So what you need to do from a digital perspective is ask lots of friendly questions. So the way we achieve personalization is through scorecards and quizzes. So we would ask people to complete a scorecard, and the scorecard would have 30 or 40 questions about them, and then it would give them a personalized report. So we have this thing called the Key Person of Influence Scorecard. It says, here's 40 questions, and it says things like, do you have a podcast, and do you have you written a blog in the last month, and have you done this, and have you tried this? Do you feel confident with this? So it asks these questions, you answer it in about a minute and a half, and then suddenly we've got all that data on our system, and then we can pick up the phone, have a conversation, and say, "Hey, look, it looks like you're really good at pitching, but not so strong on products. Can we talk to you about how to improve your products?" So this was how we got into this in 2014 of creating a personalized experience through scorecards and quizzes. And that's actually the basis of the business score app that we scaled in the last 2 years, which is letting people set up quizzes and scorecards so that they can collect way more data and immediately give a personalized report.
Okay.
Back to the,
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, where do you suggest that a small business starts gathering that data? What's like, can you pinpoint a place? Is a lead magnet something that they definitely need as soon as they start? How many questions should they start with? Because I think it's great for some businesses, like you've said, it's worked really well for you to have that kind of report back on something that they get and that how much influence they have is quite nice to know. But I think if you're a small business, maybe a small e-commerce store, bombarding
yeah.
or potential customer with 30 questions about what they like might just turn them off.
Yeah. Well, the place to start is to figure out what would add value to the customer. So I see a lot of e-commerce stores, for example, that do makeup and skincare, and they say, answer these questions and we'll tell you exactly which type of makeup suits you, right? And which type of skincare products you might be interested in. And these are incredibly effective because straight away people start answering maybe 7 or 8 questions, and it says, boom, this is the range we think is for you. And in most cases, if they've got the algorithm right, it's a good recommendation. So the place to start is really in the customer's shoes. In fact, all marketing should start in the customer's shoes and radically empathizing with the customer and thinking what would massively add value to their busy day. So when we did the Key Person of Influence scorecard, we assume people have already consumed some content, and then they want to know whether they should do something, where they're strong, where they're weak, and they want to be able to really quickly assess where to put their focus on. Most people who read my book, Key Person of Influence, they feel a little bit overwhelmed that there's so many things that they want to now go and do. The question is, where do I start? So start with the scorecard, and it'll tell you exactly what to do first. And then that adds value to them. So with any small business, you want to think, what is my customer trying to diagnose? What are they trying to assess? Is there a triage that they're trying to naturally go through and triage themselves in a certain direction? And if I can use some sort of data gathering tool to help them achieve that, then it's a win-win. They get to have that information that's right for them. I get to have the information about that person. And now we start connecting through personalization. And the important thing to know is that more than 70% of consumers are more than happy to give away relevant data if it leads to personalized recommendations. And something like 90% of young consumers are happy to totally, they get it. They totally get that they're swapping their data for personalization.